Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the rXg's traffic shaping capabilities. In this video, we will be assuming an MDU scenario, where we need to have separate policies and bandwidth allocation for residents and for staff. Let's start by going to Policies, Traffic Shaping. We've already created policies for residents and staff. Our focus today will be on setting up the bandwidth queues that will be associated with each of these policies. Under the policy scaffold, you'll find the bandwidth queue scaffold. Click on Create New. Give your new queue a name and set its priority. The higher the number, the more that this data will be prioritized. We're going to assign a nice middling 3 to the resident bandwidth. This will place it above staff users, for example, but leaves us room to assign a higher priority to something like an independent bandwidth queue for VoIP traffic. Set their up and download limits. Our fictional residents are going to get 50 megabits per second down, 10 up. The burst section can provide for different rates for a defined short period. The guarantee section allows you to set a guaranteed minimum rate for all users in this queue. The rXg running in this demo only has a 100 megabit uplink, so is unable to really guarantee anything. But with a multi-gig uplink, you could set a minimum guaranteed rate for your users to receive. We'll leave that blank, but you can fill it in with whatever down and up rates you want to set. The provisioning section requires a bit of explanation. You can set this shaping option to determine how all of the above is allocated. Per account, which is what we're going to select for this example, means that a user account with multiple devices logged in and active will have this 50 megabits divided amongst all the active devices, whereas per device is exactly what the name implies. Each logged-in device will receive the rate minimums and maximums as set above. Group would refer to an account group, of which there might be multiple governed by the same policy. We'll be configuring the staff queue in a moment, but perhaps you have separate groups for office staff, maintenance, and IT, for example. Each group would share in their allocated bandwidth. Policy would mean that all devices for all accounts governed by the same policy get a piece of the same bandwidth pie. At this point, I'd like to draw attention to an important function of the rXg bandwidth allocation, the fair share queuing algorithm. With fair share queuing, the bandwidth allocated to the indicated subgroup will be shared equally amongst all devices in use at a given time. If there are 10 users sharing the 50 megabits pool, each will receive 5, ensuring that no one is held hostage to resource-intensive applications or users. Unused bandwidth will be automatically reallocated to devices requiring more, optimizing usage but ensuring that everyone still gets their fair share. Select the policy to which all of this applies. Click Create, and you'll see the resident bandwidth queue appear in the scaffold. Now to set up a general staff bandwidth queue. This will be configured similarly to the resident queue. We're going to give them a lower priority, however, and less bandwidth, and it will be shared across the entire policy. We're leaving the filtering section empty for now, but in a moment we'll show you how you can set up a separate queue and use this to restrict social media use without prohibiting it altogether. Select the policy and create. Let's set up our social media queue now. Begin the same way as the others. This is going to be extremely low priority and will be fairly limited in terms of bandwidth. Down in filtering, we will select the applications to which this queue applies. We're adding TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. These must be applied per device. Select the staff policy again and click Create. So now, when a user logs in with an account governed by the staff policy, they will generally be limited to a share of the 40 megabits down, 10 up that we allocated to staff bandwidth. However, if they are using one of the aforementioned social media sites, they will be moved into a separate, more restrictive queue that only allows for 10 down and 5 up. For more information about features and services that the rXg can provide, check out the other videos on our channel and let us know on our subreddit or in the comment section what you'd like to learn about next. To see how this dive into traffic shaping fits into the larger context of rXg configuration, check out this video showing a full walkthrough of the process of configuring an rXg for deployment at an MDU. Link on the screen and in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, have a great week, and we'll see you in the next video.